Okay, now I'm live. Woo!
Whoa, dude, what? Flare was just like, "Yo, have this Prime,"
Oh
and
shit.
just like my image that I have for that notification. I'm like, dude, what? Dude, what? Yo, thank you, Flare. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, hi everyone. It's time for board games with the friend.
No, it's not. I'll be right
No?
back.
Oh,
Thanks, Alfie.
what happened? Oh, did you get
I gotta
spicy
go
sippy?
take a shot.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be right
figured.
back. I'm
Okay, I
just
gotta
gonna
go.
do something light because it is way too early in the stream. BRB, everyone.
There's where that went. So I'm gonna maybe I'll play. Maybe we'll actually get to play the game. Who knows? As it stands, I'm going to do. One. I'm going to open CT's chat so that I can see what's actually going on. Um. Yeah, this is fine.
And I'm back, mostly. I'm not to my computer
Hello.
yet, but wireless headphones. Woo!
Wow. The technology is here.
Yes.
Ugh.
Also, Magi, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up.
we might play within an hour, maybe.
Okay, getting up has fucked up my tracking. Give me one sec. There we go. There we go. I'm back.
Okay. That should do.
Okay. One
Do do
part
do.
buttershot. I am mixing it here just so I can get back faster. Whoop. So one
So
part
in case
tequila rose.
so in case anyone was wondering, and I doubt anyone was, for the past hour I have been doing Gunpla. I got less that
Understandable. Uh, with the charges of tomfoolery.
within the past hour, I have done about a third of a leg.
Hmm.
Well, that is to say, I've done about a third of the 2 pH spread for one leg. But it is most of the interior skeleton.
Hmm.
The chassis. Because perfect grade Gunpla have a chassis inside, don't you know, that you have to
The
build.
sippy has been spicied.
And holy fuck, it's they get kind of complex
Hmm.
for shit that in normal circumstances you'll never see again.
Fair.
But
Okay.
I suppose
And stretch and
but that's like
hydrate.
half the
Thank you, Paxed.
that's like half the point of model kits anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, isn't the product you're buying the amount of time you spend on it?
I guess. I mean, it's not just perfect grades that have the
Thank you for the
chassis.
hydrate.
There's also or the internal skeleton. There's also the master grades and the real grades both do it. High grades not so much. More recent ones kind of, but generally not really.
Eh. I mean, it just feels like, and I know this is definitely not the case with miniature building, but one of the things I've always heard about Gunpla is it actually has like they tend to be designed in a way that's like enjoyable to build.
Mm-hmm. There's no like glue or anything. This one has a lot of screws
Meanwhile,
because it's
miniatures
like
tend to not be built that way. They're just meant to be, well, they are designed to be fun to paint because they have like
yeah,
specific grooves that like paint flows into in certain ways that's meant to be satisfying.
yeah. Like you can like get a liner pen to line a gunpla. There's like a specific Gundam a Gundam pen sets that you can buy. That there's like grooves in the paneling, and you can line those to make them pop. But that's optional.
Hmm.
But yeah, perfect grids are fucked up. I'll put it that way. Um, I took a couple days break, and over the course of 3 sessions of about 2 hours each, I have done the head, an arm, and I will be finishing a leg today.
Well, speaking of things we need to finish, how about this tutorial?
Let's actually get to playing the tabletop game.
I mean,
Yes.
it's fine. We still have like 50 minutes before we actually have to start.
Yeah, let's see. Where were we? Okay.
Right up here, we had more reading to do because we had just finished the fight, gotten some loot. Uh,
Yeah, I had my thing over here. Hold on. Why is it skipping stuff? That's annoying.
what do you mean?
Anyway, it's fine. I got to where I was going. Pop out to the screen. And before we start, I'm going to take a drink.
That's smart. That's a lot of
Mhm.
reading. Also, can you
Sure is.
believe that we're going to have an entire stream with no technical difficulties? None at all?
As one of the people streaming, I refuse to believe that.
Vex is like, be the change you want to see in the world and crashes his stream.
Mm-hmm. I'll have a panic attack over it. It'll be great.
Hmm.
Anyway. Woo!
And Odyssey resumed.
Let's finally get started. So, what did we do last time? We killed a thing. We killed a bunch of hands.
Yes, we did in fact catch these hands.
We sure did. Okay, so to make things easier, we've divided the next few pages of the Learn to Play book into game rounds. Each round represents a single day on the Argo. Each day will summarize what you should do to move the game along. You'll encounter several types of passages. You're already familiar with boxes that introduce new rules. From now on, you'll also come upon story passages like an Odyssey resume below. Excuse me. Which will help you immerse yourself into the world of Aeon Trespass Odyssey. Some story passages, called adventures, will blend the story and rules together, often requiring you to make a decision. For now, let's read this story.
And Odyssey resumed.
You emerge from the pools of the Balenian deeply exhausted and confused. What was that thing? How did you know how to control the Titans?
There are not enough answers in this world to satiate this thirst,
Says the old priest.
but I will tell you what I know, and you can do with it what you please. We call this ship the Argo, though we do not know its true name. It lay moored off the west coast of Kefalonia for many years like a beached whale. Refugees and outcasts flocked to it, looking for shelter from the harsh reality of post-Eschaton Hellas. Adventurers and pirates were drawn to it by the promise of hidden treasures. Deserters and fugitives hid on it.
As he speaks, he has a meaningful look on his face.
We explored it. We charted it.
I turned this music down a little bit.
We learned some of its many secrets. We thought we were mastering it, but in truth it was the ship that was training us. Unknowingly, we were becoming its crew. Your crew.
So real quick, Vex,
Mm-hmm.
you're a very good voice actor.
Thank you. Moving
Please
on.
continue.
Ours? One of you asks, confounded.
You are not like us. You did not walk on board the Argo, my friends. You were found here, in a sleepless sleep,
He explains.
and when doom loomed, you awakened. And so did the Argo.
Hecaton's attack.
No,
The old priest interrupts you. He does not want any confusion on the matter.
a much more terrible foe awaits thee. It pursued us on Moth's wings across the great sea, like the messenger Hermes himself. For now, we've evaded it, but at a most terrible cost. You are not the first Argonauts to awaken from the sleep, nor the first to don the bodies of Titans. Your predecessors were not as fortunate as you. Do not sadden, O Argonauts. Their sacrifice made the day's victory possible. We understand the Balenian a lot better now.
Hush.
We understand the Triskelion that allows you to junction with the Titans. In time, we will master it.
Mocha, I'm
You call-
in the middle of stream. Please don't interrupt.
Mocha, please. You call us Argonauts, yet we remember nothing, you say with great trepidation.
I know that I know nothing, said a great mortal once. If that's your creed, you will not be disappointed,
Chuckles the wizened man.
Maybe the ship will reveal the truth to us, if we live long enough. There are more pressing matters at hand.
He gestures to the colossal, poorly lit chamber you've just entered. Even so engrossed in the conversation, you didn't even notice you've arrived at your destination. Another man is there, darker skin, with a bushy beard and a hard steel look in his eyes. The chief smith of the Aeolipile engine room. Alcibiades.
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 That's the one.
The ship's been steering itself this whole time,
He says.
We think it's looking for sustenance. Triremes need wind and the toil of mortal muscles. This ship longs for a different fuel. A black fluid, the same that coursed through the veins of that monstrosity you've slain. Ambrosia. If our understanding of these apparatus is correct, we're running on empty. The Hecaton gave us a few days of voyage, a week tops, but that's that. There is supposed to be an island to the east,
Interjects the old priest.
a ravenous sea empire made toothless by a youth and a ball of yarn.
Even toothless wolves bite, says one of you absent-mindedly.
Is that or Poseidon's watery grave? Take your pick.
That's hardly a choice, is it?
You're a really good voice
With this, you
actor.
started your Odyssey.
Finally! In just 27 easy steps.
In just 27 easy steps.
Shut up,
Outside of
Mocha.
battle, most of the gameplay takes place on the voyage map. It's the beginning of day 0, and your goal is simple: reach shore before your engines run cold. Oh Jesus! Take out the tutorial map tiles from the game box. These are the large square cars marked T0 to T06. Don't look at them until instructed to. Place the starting tile on the table, T00, reveal it, then place the Argo miniature on top of it. Let's get into this as moving the Argo, and after moving the Argo, you always tick the next day on the timeline. Mark the box next to day 0 on the timeline. Click.
Nice.
The timeline is the heart of your campaign. That's why it takes a whole page of the Argo sheet, or in our case, a whole fucking quarter. Here you will mark the passage of time, measured in days, which in Aeon Trespass Odyssey serve as campaign rounds. If you reach the end of the timeline, it's over. You took too much time and lost. Time passes as the Argo moves around the map. It's simple. One Argo move equals 1 day equals 1 campaign round. As time passes, things will happen of their own accord. The timeline starts with several printed events. Oh, fuck me. Sorry, hold on.
I'm the one who's supposed to yawn on stream. What the fuck? It's like my whole thing. You're still in my bit.
Mm.
The fuck,
Oh, you haven't
Vex?
been watching me recently.
No, my sleep schedule's been kind of fucked. I'm sorry.
But as the game goes on, you'll add your own. Notice the timeline battle symbol. It's cross swords. It tells you when you're going to face a primordial monster again, giving you time to prepare. There are other symbols too, but we'll talk about them in due course. Whenever you are instructed to add something to the timeline X days from now, count X days from the current day, but don't count the current day itself, and write it down in the provided space. For example, if you're instructed to add Fearful Recollection to the timeline 3 days from now, that means you need to write Fearful Recollection in the space for day T3. You already have your Argo sheet out. Now's the time to populate it. The Argo sheltered survivors, refugees, and exiles from the ravages of the Eschaton. These people became its crew. Mark that you have 5 crew. The city
That's
ship
smart.
itself has seen better days, though most of the damage is internal, hidden from prying eyes. Mark that you have 4 hull. You also have 0 Argo fate, but you've already noted that during the battle aftermath. Now, add the Fearful Recollection event onto the timeline 3 days from now. Funny how that number 31 timeline came in handy. Take the Bridge Tholos oversized
Fearful.
technology card. This is the beginning of your technology deck, though we'll talk about technologies a little later. Where's the technology
That
card?
is in the top left over here.
Haha.
Currently empty. So,
We want Bridge Tholos.
it doesn't exist because they have different names on the front and back, and that's one of the biggest complaints about the game.
That does kind of suck.
It's only the case for core technologies, the big ones, and there's only like 6 of those, so could be
Yeah.
worse.
Could be worse. The Bridge Tholos only has reference abilities. This means that it has no inherent effect. Instead, it introduces important rules and serves as a reminder. For now, disregard the adventure and gather resources rules. We'll get back to them later. And now for the rules. In Aeon Trespass Odyssey, hull and crew are hit point resources. In other words, they behave like resources. You gain them, lose them, and trade them, but they are essentially the life force of the Argo. If either of these fall to 0, consult the storybook paragraph noted next to the appropriate track on your Argo sheet. Oh, excuse me. Be warned, though, that it will have disastrous consequences and, most likely, end the campaign with an immediate defeat. Take
Most
care of the city ship
likely.
and its crew.
Interesting.
Mm.
Interesting. So that means it's not guaranteed.
Mm.
Taps forfeit.
And we just got our first technology, the Bridge Tholos. It is a core technology, meaning you get it at the start of the game and that it doesn't have any prerequisites. Whenever you gain or research a new technology, flip it from its project side to its technology side and add it to your technology side.
Bitch.
Okay, Jesse. I haven't watched Breaking Bad. I need to.
This is good.
Right. Finally. It's time to move the Argo. I know, incredible. Usually a map tile will allow you to move in several different directions, but for now the Argo is stranded on the Great Sea, desperately looking for a place to refuel. The only direction you can go from here is east. This is depicted by an arrow accompanied by a tile number T01. So, place the T01 tile now, then simply move the Argo miniature onto it.
Okay, Vex, we gotta decide which direction we're moving.
Oh my god, it's so hard to tell. Where do we where Map tiles will provide you with various symbols and information, which we will introduce gradually over the course of this learn to play. For now, let's focus on the direction arrows. You can only move in the directions pointed out by arrows. If the tile you're moving to isn't already on the table, you need to look up the tile
Yeah.
with the corresponding number shown on the back of the tile, the number by the arrow, and place it face up adjacent to the current tile so that the arrows align.
Yeah, it's very Seventh Continent inspired, which I've never actually played, but I've heard very good things about.
So, your new tile has an adventure symbol, indicating you'll be going on an adventure.
I have a
See
baby
adventure
laying in my
tiles and
lap.
boxes. You have a what?
I have a baby laying in my map. My lap. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm
Mocha.
okay.
She's kind of
An
like
adventure-
melted over the side of my chair. So only her
Nice.
back legs are in my lap and the rest are just like slumped over.
Incredible. An adventure is a set of story passages with a beginning and an end. Most adventures will give you a choice as to how to proceed. In Aeon Trespass Odyssey, there are really no bad choices, or rather, all of them have positive and negative consequences. It's for you to decide how to navigate the complex stories, what you're willing to sacrifice, and what you want to gain. Adventures can be anything, from swashbuckling clashes on high seas, through stealth infiltration missions, war stories, diplomatic negotiations, to introverted pieces about your character, or the Argo as a whole. After you enter an unexplored map tile with the adventure symbol, you discover an adventure hub. Normally, you'd roll a d10 and compare the results with the hub table found at the beginning of your current storybook, but to find out which hub you've encountered. Each time you embark on an adventure from a given hub, you'll mark a single box on this hub's track on the Argo sheet. Once you've marked all adventure nodes on a track, the hub is considered completed. Adventure boxes are encountered in a set order. The first box is always a set adventure called the Alpha, like the first adventure in the tutorial hub. Same goes for the last, that one's called the Omega. All the boxes in between are normally empty. This means that you will need to roll to see which adventure from this hub awaits you. Remember, all adventures are obligatory. Whenever you enter an unexplored tile with an adventure symbol, you need to go on an adventure.
We need it. We're itching for it. Craving it.
So, let's mark the box next to day T1 on the timeline. Then go on an adventure from one of the available adventure hubs. Each storybook has a number of hubs which are unlocked as you progress through the story. And learn to play, there's only one hub. The tutorial one. Each hub offers a set number of adventures. Once you embark on an adventure, you simply tick the leftmost empty box on the hub's track on the Argo sheet. Mark the first box at the tutorial hub track and proceed to the alpha adventure, Sea of Shipwrecks, on the next page. Oh, jeez. Okay. Sea of Shipwrecks. You wake up to the sound of alarm bells. Cold chills run down your spines. Has the monster returned? Are you to do battle again? When you get to the deck, the old priest is already there, pointing ahead. Before the Argo lays a sea of shipwrecks. Mighty triremes broken in two or smashed into tiny, unrecognizable pieces, drifting. It's impossible to discern to whom the armada belonged to. The Argo can plow through this watery graveyard, go around it, or stop to look for survivors and supplies.
You are in command now,
Muses the old priest.
but if it was me, I'd prepare the launches to look for anything useful.
You get into the boats with your newfound crew and set off for the wrecks. It's as if something massive tore these ships asunder. Some of the larger war triremes show signs of precise piercing damage. One could punch through a bronze-plated hull and come out on the other side. Perhaps there really are worse things than the Hecaton out there. So let's choose one of us to be the party leader. They break ties if you can't reach a decision. Then choose.
Well, it's definitely going to be you, because I have done this several times. So the
Okay.
question is, which of you is it?
The me. That's me. Don't worry about it. This place is
Raz
as me
or
as
Heracles? Heracleid. Yeah.
Heracles.
Okay.
This place is a maze of shipwrecks. Vile things may lurk about. You decide it's better to lead the Argo in closer, as it should scare off any predators. The stars are great for the crew, not so much for the ship's hull. Lose one hull. Mark A7. 2. These wrecks could still pose a threat to the Argo. Pains you to even think it, but the crew is replaceable. The ship's not. Consequently, many sailors fall prey to the mollusk sirens and sharks.
So, what's more expendable?
Well, mathematically speaking, the crew.
Mm-hmm.
Mark A8.
Okay. A8.
Regardless of your choice, on your way back you make a startling discovery. In the cargo hold of one of the larger triremes in long iron caskets, you find titans. Weak, incapacitated, but alive. Raise the number of titans you have up to 8, regardless of how many you had before. You also gather enough raw materials to gain 1 seal spolus, 1 siren panoply armor, and 1 boat mace gear cards. So
10. Okay.
we'll do this in order. So where's our
Okay.
titans? Dreamwalker times 8. Yep.
Here we get
A seal spolus.
that is a type of trireme armor.
We get a siren panoply armor.
Okay.
And 1 boat mace.
Boat mace.
Oh, hey, there's one. Boat mace.
We grabbed our. We did not.
Finally,
Oh, here it is.
because
Okay.
because we're doing it in order. Wait, what did we not get?
I wanted to make sure we grabbed the siren teeth that you get at the end of the tutorial fight.
Oh yeah, we
And
did that.
Yeah, it wasn't equipped to anyone yet, but we do have it.
Mm-hmm. Finally, gain the Titan Stoa and Excursion Propylon oversized technology cards. Excursion Propylon, and there's the Titan Stoa. Okay. Bing. Then return to the voyage phase.
Very important. Titan hunting, trireme weapons, trireme armor.
Ah.
Titan hunting.
Then return to
trireme
the voyage phase
weapons.
and see number 36, return to the voyage. The adventurer instructed you to return to the voyage phase. The voyage phase encompasses everything that is neither the adventure phase or the battle phase. In other words, it tells you to return to your current campaign round step. Resolve other effects that happen in this step, if any, and proceed with the round. If an adventure ends without directing you to another passage, you also return to the voyage phase. Note, some technology abilities may only be used during a certain phase. Alright. So, Sea of Shipwrecks was the first of many adventures. Each adventure will introduce a mixture of story, world building, choices, and tests. This one lets you choose between losing some hull integrity or a few sailors. As both your hull and crew are at 5 and you really don't know what the future holds, the choice is
Typo.
even. What?
It's as both. It's a typo in the rulebook, as both your hull and crew are at their starting values, because the starting value for hull is 4, not 5.
Okay. And you really don't know what the future holds, your choice is even and may fall to morals versus pragmatism. You have to mark A7 or A8 in the choice matrix, and a future adventure or event may refer to one of these. This adventure also gave you some needed gear cards for your Titans and replenished your Titan stock. This is a freebie. In the future, you'll have to work harder for new Titans, so take good care of these. You finished your first
Vex.
adventure. Sea of Shipwrecks, losing some resources, gaining some gear cards, and 2 technologies. The Titan Stoa and the Excursion Propylon. Both of your new technologies have a permanent ability. These introduce an ongoing effect that is always active. It does not need to be activated in any way, nor can it be turned off. Titan Stoa tells you how many Titans you can have on board and informs you how to replenish your Titan supply by exploring the map. With time, you will gain other technologies that will expand your Titan capacity. Note that if you have multiple technologies with a Titan limit, they do not stack or add up. You should always apply only the highest of them. Write down your current number of Titans and the Titan limit in the box near the Titan section of the Argo sheet. So,
Already did.
Titan limit 10.
Oh, we're at
Permanent Argo
8
ability.
out of 10, aren't we?
We're at 8.
Okay.
Limit 2, during battle stab, choose 2 Argo abilities. You may use these cards in battle. Interesting. Excursion Propylon opens the staging area and command center for your battles. With the Propylon, you'll be able to use Argo abilities in battle, once you get some. Write down that your AA limit is 2. Similarly to the Titan limit, the number of Argo abilities you can prepare for battle will increase as the Argo advances technologically. Finally, note the leads to section on the back of each of these technologies. This will become important soon.
Oh shit, I skipped ahead. Oh no. This is why
You
Vex
did a
is
bit.
reading.
Tutorial campaign round 2. Do we eventually get to call in Superboat fire support?
Yes, it's actually one of the first technologies in the game.
God bless.
Arrow barrage.
Late at night, as you sit around the changing map of the bridge Tholos debating your next move, the old priest arrives with a stranger in tow. I am Socrates, the war philosopher, and I come with a warning. Titans are not your friends. They are wild animals and enemies of mortals. Only through the Anti-Kratos technology can we tame and control them. It's in the helms, you see. Helms and words. We need to suppress their inner rage and destructive tendencies, their Kratos, so to speak. But there were only 4 helmets, and each time you do battle, you risk damaging one beyond repair. We need to make more. I need only your permission to start work immediately. How did you come upon this knowledge? Socrates looks visibly uncomfortable, as if even questioning and lessens his achievement. I've studied the faux scripture of the only remaining book on the Argo. The knowledge was incomplete, but there was enough. Do I have your permission? You have it. As you watch the tall man leave the Tholos, you wonder, where did the Titans come from in the first place? Your past, this ship, the fate that befell the world. So many things are being hidden from you. This state of ignorance cannot continue.
This cannot continue.
This cannot continue.
This cannot continue.
Gather a group of the wisest thinkers and scholars of the Argo. Find a place for them. Bring them this last tome. Let them study it and report on their findings. The old priest smiles.
Just what I had in mind.
Time to continue your journey. Move the Argo eastwards onto a new tile. Then remember to mark the next day on the timeline. Now we're going to T02 because it's the only fucking place we can go. Whoop. Oh no, an adventure.
That's a lot of siren shells.
That's a lot of siren shells.
It's a lot of
Gross.
boats.
Gross. Another map tile, another adventure symbol. You've already marked one node on the tutorial hub track, so mark the second one. This node does not have a symbol inside, so normally you would now roll on a hub's table and randomly determine which venture you would be going to go on. You can learn more about ventures and hubs from the rulebook. For now, simply proceed to adventure 2, Vast Spaces.
Vast spaces. That's like the exact opposite of the community I'm in.
Wow.
Uh,
What's it called again? Inside Spaces?
empty spaces.
Empty Spaces, that's the one. The Argo mystifies you. An iron ship that does not sink, and that sails on invisible winds. It is magic. The kind that Hephaestus might have conjured up in his forge, but the gods are long dead and the grand forges of Olympus cold as Cocytus itself. When you go below deck, you find vast spaces that could house a fleet of trireme or even a city. Some of the sailors, along with Alcibiades' smiths, set up a makeshift shipbreaking yard. That was hard to read because it's split in two. They took some of those shipwrecks you encountered yesterday and began salvaging materials for weapons. Giant weapons for the Titans. As you inspect the salvage, you learn that, unfortunately, you've also taken in stowaways. A rabid siren. Half mortal, half mollusk, all the hunger. Defend yourselves.
I like the implication that mollusks aren't mortal.
Yeah. Okay, see test skills with Triskelion gains. During an adventure, you may be asked to perform a test. To perform a test, take one d10 die and roll it against the target number. If you roll equal to or higher than the target number, you succeed. If you roll lower, you fail. If you're unhappy with the result, you can reroll tests using fate, just like you would in case of an attack or evasion roll, but you must follow the same restrictions. No die can be re-rolled more than once. Most tests recur to an Argonaut's skill. If you have any bonus to that skill, you may apply it on the roll result. Each Argonaut starts with a small bonus to one of the skills. It's printed on their portrait card. Note that sometimes you may be instructed to perform a test during battle as well. This is resolved in the exact same way. A lot of effects will instruct you to gain rage, danger, or fate.
Got those last two backwards.
Whatever. I was reading the Triskelion and then I looked over and rage, fate, or danger, whatever. These are the three aspects of the Triskelion used during battle and outside of it. During the battle aftermath, you reset your Triskelions to 000s. Only Tides of Fate can reset Triskelions. This means that when you gain Triskelion stats between battles, like during this adventure, these persist throughout the next battle. In effect, you may start the next battle in a weaker or stronger state. So, Raz will be the party leader this time.
Okay.
It's only the four of you, so you need to engage the siren as one. That way, even though you risk more of you getting hurt, you will spread the punishment among you, which is everybody tests. And if you fail, gain a danger. Or, it's only the four of you, so one of you needs to step up and hold the creature off while the rest scramble for reinforcements. They may be hurt bad, but the damage will be contained. The party leader just straight up gains 2 danger.
Decisions.
I think I would much rather everybody test. Because it has the potential to be 4 danger overall, but it would only be 1 per person.
That tracks. And it is Fury or Endurance, I believe, which none of
Yep.
us have bonuses in.
Hooray.
Would you like to go first for your boys
I guess I'll go
and
first.
girls?
Actually, what am I doing? Always roll a white die.
There you go.
I rolled a 6.
6.
Which means
Womp womp.
Heraclides takes a danger. Now for Raz. That's a 10.
Hell
Woo!
yeah. Otis Zero's up. 8.
No danger.
We have
All
broken
right,
even at least.
we've at least broken even with the choice.
And finally is Penelope. Penelope. 6.
That's a 6. All right, that's fine. I'd rather 1 on 2 people than 2 on 1 person.
That's fair.
Regardless of your choice, see vast spaces continued on the next page. You managed to slay the rabid siren, but not without cost. Still, it had to be done to secure the space for Alcibiades' people. And
Okay,
those
that
people
would have been funny if we had actually succeeded on all of them. And it's like, but not without cost. It's like, yes, it
Yeah,
fucking was.
Yeah, the cost of this cool ass fucking shell got him. And those people have something to show for their efforts. Intact siege weapons salvaged from the wrecks and a few barrels of ambrosia, courtesy of the dead siren. Now you just need to find a way of reshaping those materials into equipment that will give you a fighting chance against primordials. You need knowledge. As you turn back to look for the scholars of the Argo the old priest mentioned, one of you lingers. A flicker of recollection flashes in their mind. This horrid encounter has stirred something in them. Something from their veiled past. Gain 2 armament resources, 2 trireme resources, 6 raw ambrosia resources, 1 muscle cluster resource, and 1 infused mechanism resource. Okay, 2 armament,
Okay.
2 trireme,
Okay. Raw ambrosia, I already got.
1 muscle cluster, 1 infused mechanism.
Okay.
In your immediate future, you'll use these resources to craft powerful weapons, armor, support items, and more. Wow. A random Argonaut gains the Siren Survivor Nemos card. It should write it down in the Nemos section of their Argonaut sheet, along with the passage number for the first breakthrough. Okay, we will roll.
It's roll low.
Oh, okay.
If
Oh,
you
that's right. You don't use D. You roll low. Right. This is for Heraclides. 2. That's pretty low. And now for Raz. 2.
Otis 0. 7.
7.
I thought that was a 1 for a second.
Yeah, so did I.
Penelope. 5.
5.
So
Okay,
roll
so it's
between them.
me. Heraclides gets a 3. Raz gets a 9. So Heraclides. He gets the Siren Survivor.
Where are the memes? I think they're still in here. Memes. DNA of the soul.
And that's a pretty beam.
Siren Survivor.
Oh, those are the memes.
There you go.
Against all odds, you survived. Why? Exquisite.
Now you flip it. You have
Spartacus is,
level 1.
which means, do I tick this or do I just leave it as is right now?
You leave it as is.
Okay.
Once you get your 3rd node, and then resolve the story after it, you unlock level 2. After you get the 7th node, resolve the story after it, you get level 3. And after you hit the 10th node and resolve the story after it, these abilities no longer take up one of your meme slots, and you can get another one
Oh.
while keeping the
Interesting.
abilities. However, immediately, you gain 1 courage and 1 will.
Ooh.
Mocha. Baby.
Right. So resource categories. Da 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 da. Yeah. That's just world building. Meme cards, nodes, and random Argonauts. Yeah, Mechanax's the jump scare is on cooldown for the entire stream. Sorry to break it to you, buddy.
Yeah, I have actually been posting these and like to a bit wider of an audience than usual, so I didn't want to just have the jump scares thrown in. But for you. Ah, oh fuck. Ah, scary. Darn, you got me good.
All right. Meme
Love
cards
you.
represent the subdued, forgotten, or repressed memories of Argonauts' past lives. Each meme card has a bit of a backstory, vague enough to let you fill in the rest. Some skill bonuses, noted on your Argonaut sheet and added as a bonus during skill tests, and 3 unique abilities. Some abilities may influence the battle, others may be useful during the voyage or adventure phases. Only first level abilities are available from the start, while the rest are locked behind meme breakthroughs, and these are achieved by collecting meme nodes. Excuse me. Nodes are experience points tied to a particular meme card. The more nodes you have, the more abilities you unlock. Meme breakthroughs, on the other hand, are special adventures that slowly reveal the Argonaut's hidden past. These are resolved by reading passages from the meme section of the appropriate storybook. The paragraph numbers of these passages are always noted on the card itself, but you may also note them in designated spaces on your Argonaut sheet. Don't read these passages yet. You need to collect a certain number of meme nodes first. You always need 3 nodes to reach the first breakthrough. This unlocks the second ability, another 4 to reach the second one. This unlocks the final ability, and another 3 to resolve your story with the final breakthrough. How do you
It's the
earn nodes, you ask?
final breakthrough.
How do you earn nodes, you ask? You'll soon find out. As for the random Argonaut, we've already done that. And now begin the last Academy meme card, or technology card. Last Academy. As you just gained the last Academy technology card, you may finally begin to research new technologies. You do this during the advancement step, which in the campaign run sequence comes after moving the Argo, advancing the timeline, exploration, adventures, and battles. It's now. First, assemble your projects deck, taking the following technology cards from the game box: Trireme Weapons, Trireme Armor, Rhetoric, Titan Hunting, and Anti-Indoctrination Philosophy.
That last one I don't think is correct because that comes from rhetoric and doesn't have. I think that's a typo in the thing because we have nothing that actually gives that.
I'd say ask someone about it, but we're on stream, so fuck it. Then look to the timeline. Today, you can research your first battle technology. So, although you have 4 technologies in total in your projects deck, you can only choose from the 2 battle technologies available to you: Trireme Weapons and Trireme Armor. Whichever you choose, they both lead to the same technology: Trireme Ranged Weapons. Add that technology to your projects deck. Note that this technology requires both Trireme Weapons and Trireme Armor, so although it is immediately added to your projects deck and you can peek at its production facility side, you cannot research it until you fulfill all requirements, which is getting both. Soon you'll learn how to craft gear cards from your research technologies. For now, proceed to tutorial campaign round 3.
So, are we
Okay.
getting weapons or armor first?
According to the timeline, it don't fucking matter. So, weapons.
Okay.
During advancement step, you can research new technologies and craft gear from resources you salvage from primordials in battle. Your technologies fall into 2 categories: those you have researched, which is your technology deck, and those you can research, which is your projects deck. These correspond to both sides of a technology card. The projects deck represents all the potential projects your scholars may work on next. To add... fuck.
Understandable.
To add cards to your project deck, you need to look at all the leads to parts of your current technology cards. As you may have noticed, available technologies are separated into 2 types, forming 2 separate technological trees of sorts: structural and battle. They all belong in the same projects deck, but are developed independently. Whenever you reach a structural technology symbol or battle technology symbol on the timeline, during the advancement step, you get to pick one technology of a given type from your projects deck. You may freely peek at the technologies cards in your projects deck before you decide to research them, but you may only use those you have researched. Some technology cards offer production options. Some provide immediate effects or a permanent bonus/enhancement, while others may still be used actively in battle as Argo abilities. Note, some technology cards are oversized. This is not a mistake. These are just milestone technologies that show a part of the Argo. Most of these technologies are also core, which means they're awarded at the start of a cycle and don't have any other requirements. Oi, give me just a second. Fuck me. Oh, fuck! Ugh. Oh my god. Right. Well, wait.
Hmm.
I was gonna say, can't you put anti-indoctrination philosophy in the deck anyway? You just can't research it.
No, because we haven't researched these yet. This is our project stack. I just spread it out so we can more easily see it.
No, I know, but what I mean is, you could put anti-indoctrination in the projects deck, even though we can't actually research it
I
yet,
mean, I
because we'd need.
could, but nothing gives it. Nothing gave us it. For example, Titanogenesis gives us Titan hunting, even though we still need rhetoric in order to actually learn it. So it's added to the deck.
I think
But
that's just the prerequisite to research it.
oh, okay, I just checked it. Yeah, it is a typo. I checked
It
the
is a typo?
errata. Yep.
Okay. You got another spicy sippy, by the way.
I did. Okay. Shot glass.
Well, you have your spicy sippy.
Killer
I'm having a regular
Rose.
sippy. A lot of reading.
Mocha, this booze is not for you.
I can't wait until we're done with the tutorial and I can stop reading so much. Shut up. So much in a row.
Vex. You poor dumb bitch. You have no idea what you signed up for.
Yeah, you want to know why I'm not going to be reading so much in a row? Because we're done with the fucking tutorial and you get to read some. Fuck you.
That's fair. That is entirely fair. Okay. Add a bit of butter shots to it.
Ugh. Ah. Right.
And a shot. I was hoping Vex would chime in with an everybody as I took the shots, but I guess not.
No, sorry, I'm not cool. But everybody knew this, so, you know.
I guess you could say, everybody knew this.
I guess you could. Anyway. Contrary to what the war philosopher said, there were many books and scrolls in the Argo, a veritable library to rival that of Athens. But there was only one text that spoke of the Argo and its fabulous technology, the one Socrates dubbed the Last Tome. He believes it was taken from Alexandria just before the Eschaton happened, but this is just pure speculation. The Last Tome only has one page, but it keeps changing under the slightest of touches. This is the miracle of the folk scripture. It also means you cannot be sure what knowledge and secrets it still holds. To learn the answers you don't know you need, you must figure out the right questions. And so, just as you have asked, the old priestess gathered the learned sages, philosophers, and scholars of the Argo, united in one purpose: to understand. They set up in the aforementioned library and began their lives' work. That was the first day of the last academy of Hellas.
So, you can tell what the last tome is, right?
Yeah, Magi just said it's just a tablet. Incredible.
Yep.
As usual, at the start of the day, you must move the Argo. No point going back, so proceed to tile T03 and mark the next day on the timeline. Click.
All Argonauts know is amnesia, control they titan, and phone.
That is all they know.
It's a dude.
It's a dude on a
There's a
little shipwreck.
Yeah, to
There
scale.
he is. Yeah, to scale.
To scale.
Hold on.
Are you dying? Vex, are you dying?
I had a burp coming, but it went away.
Nasty.
Yep. So, this map tile has a new symbol to interact with. The Titan symbol. It means that a Titan has been spotted in the wild that can be hunted to replace your Titan stock. That's great news. Take a look at the Titan Stoa technology card to
Thank
see
you.
how you can interact with this symbol. During the exploration step, if the Argo is on an unexplored map tile with the Titan symbol, gain +1 Titan.
Fuck up.
You do this during the exploration step, which is right now, after movement and timeline steps you've just resolved. There's also a combat research symbol on the timeline, which means that you get to research a new battle technology again, as well as a story event called Fearful Recollection. There it is,
God.
excuse me. You were instructed to put it there on day 0 when it's finally time to resolve it. The advancement step comes before the story step, so you need to do research before you can delve back into the story. Research the only remaining battle technology available, which is the other trireme thing.
Trireme armor.
Bosh Bingy. They proceed to Fearful Recollection on the next page. But let's just have a little refresher on the campaign run sequence and timeline events. Your timeline can quickly get crowded. As you can see, some events have already been marked, and you will add even more as the game progresses. There are 3 types of things that can end up on the timeline. Battles. Generally, you must face a primordial every 6 days, as denoted by the cross sword symbol. These battles are called timeline battles. In some cases, however, you may be prompted to add additional battles to the timeline. Timeline battles are resolved in the encounter step, while others, surprise ones, will be resolved at the end of the step they were triggered in. Advancements. You already know how to research battle and structural technologies. This is always resolved in the advancement step. All other events added to the timeline using technologies are resolved in the advancement step as well. Excuse me. Bloody hell. Story events. As a general rule, every event that is not a battle or an advancement is a story event and happens in the story step. These do not include adventures, which are resolved in a separate step. So to look at this simplified campaign round sequence. Move the Argo, advance the timeline, trigger the tile. If on a tile with an adventure, do an adventure. If there are any timeline battles, do the battles. If there's an advancement, do the advancement. Then resolve other advancements and craft gear cards, and then story. But anyway, time for fearful recollection. You cannot sleep at night. Something is worming its way inside your mind. At first you think it's the memory of the recent battle, but no, it's deeper, older. Recollection of your previous life. You expect to see loved ones or even hated enemies. Instead, it's only drab, wet walls, damp dirt, and a tiny skylight. Who are you? The least likely Argonaut gains the Imprisonment meme card. The Imprisonment meme card is particularly helpful against the Hecaton. What a lucky coincidence. In some cases, especially for the purpose of gaming new Nemos cards and Nemos nodes, the game will ask for the least likely Argonaut. The least likely Argonaut is the one with the fewest Nemos cards, not counting faded Nemos. In the case of a tie, it is the one from the tied Argonauts who has the least amount of Nemos nodes. If there is still a tie, choose randomly. So, roll low. This is for Raz. 8. That's not very
Otis
low.
0. 7. Penelope. 7. Otis 0. 10. Penelope. 8.
We did
So-
not roll very low.
No. But, yep, so Penelope's the next prisoner. Good
You
to
know, as you do. Did you get... There's your card. Imprisonment.
May reduce suffered knockbacks by 2. Who can tell how long it's been? Dark and damp and cramped and lonely. The cell gave you no quarters, just a tiny crack in the wall.
Yikes.
Yep, She's a bad bitch, it turns out. Reminder that femme does not equal soft.
Reminder that hello, level 3. Also, don't forget to put in your stats.
Oh, right. Endurance and wisdom. Nice, nice, nice.
Nice, nice. Tutorial campaign round 4. The doom that came to Crete. There are fortifications on the small rocky islands, but they were abandoned long ago. Strange for a seafaring empire to leave its flank exposed like that. Thankfully, not far from the ruins, you find a tiny fishing village. The people there are more than eager to tell you what fate befell Crete. After you hear the tale, you begin to wonder if it was a good idea to come here. Then you remember, you didn't have a choice. And sail!
Sail!
And Mark. Take the Shape of Things to Come Cycle 1 Doom card and place it below the map 1A side up. What?
Search. Story cards? No. Doom cards.
Oh, Jesus.
They big.
Ah.
Place it on
Place it
top
below
of
the
Doom.
map 1A side up. This is 1A. Read it aloud. Shape of Things to Come. All is not well on Crete, and the absence of Minos' dissent grows. The understaffed Horned Guard struggles to keep the peace after years of oppressive rule. In dawn's grey mists, primordial silhouettes are seen cresting the mountain ranges, too far to be a threat, too close to completely expel them from the mind. You start to notice strange geometric graffiti adorning the walls and abandoned temples. You hear whispers of change coming from inland. Rules. When an Argonaut gains the Maze Touch deflection, place that one thingy token
Doom.
on this card. Once per campaign. Gaining Doom makes your journey harder
Also,
and
yeah,
brings it closer.
basically Magi.
And brings it closer to a gruesome end. Each time you gain Doom, you must place one Doom token on your current Doom card. When there are 5 or more Doom tokens on this card, flip it to side 1B. Place excess tokens on side 1B. Oh, excess, huh?
Yeah. Don't gain
Well,
too
that's,
many Doom.
well, that's quite ominous, don't you think?
Yeah.
Then look at the symbols on the map tile. There's a Doom symbol, a progress symbol, and a city symbol waiting for you. Exploration comes first, so resolve the Doom symbol by placing one Doom token on the Shape of Things to Come Doom card.
Yay!
We did it! You resolve a Doom symbol each time you enter a map tile showing it, even if this map tile has already been explored.
Yay!
Oh.
So,
Then it's time for...
so this is, in part, a Metroidvania. Backtracking is required. Be careful with backtracking.
Then it's time for the progress symbol. This symbol tells you you've gained a progress token. Usually you'll place progress tokens on a story card, which is the mirror opposite of a Doom card. Story cards chart your main goals for the cycle. They inform you of the progress you've made in the main storyline. However, you've yet to receive your first story card, so
Yep.
back that goes.
The game just goes, fuck you! It's January!
Basically. Doom cards represent the encroachment of evil. As with all great villains, those populating the ATO world don't sit idly by to see how events unfold. They try to actively shape them. This is represented by the mechanic of Doom tokens. Each time you enter a map tile with a Doom token, place one Doom token on your current Doom card. Or map tile with a Doom symbol. Once the conditions on the card are met, flip the card over or find the correct passage in the storybook. Note, there are other ways to gain Doom, like adventures and some battle effects, so watch out. Time is a precious commodity in Aeon Trespass Odyssey. Don't waste it. Evil never sleeps. If you reach the end of the last Doom card of your current cycle, that's it. You lost. Evil is triumphed. At the end of a campaign round, aptly named the end step, if the tile you were on was unexplored, it becomes explored. Most map tile symbols are resolved only once when a tile is unexplored. In other words, once you move to a new tile and resolve its symbols, the tile will become explored. If you later return to this tile, you won't trigger those symbols. Some symbols, however, are always active, which means they trigger every time you resolve an exploration step on their tile. This includes both the Doom and City symbols. Resolving the same Doom symbol multiple times could be disastrous to your voyage.
So
Remember
don't
to
do that.
exercise extreme caution when planning your journey through previously explored tiles. You can find a list of common map tile symbols along with their meaning and rulebook. Additionally, cycle-specific symbols are explained in the rules section of your current storybook. If you encounter a symbol that is not explained in any of these places, don't worry. Some rare symbols are only referred to on other game elements, such as story cards or technologies. If you run into them before you learn how they're used, simply ignore them. So, instead, take out the Inward Odyssey Truth of the Labyrinth card from the game box and place it near the map. You won't get to use it yet either, but whenever you get progress, you may always place it on an Inward Odyssey card. Do it now. So, there's our progress. And there's my rules. Now, let's look to the city symbol. Or actually, let's read this first. You know precious little about the grand vessel you call home. Who built it? For what purpose? How did you come to be on board? There are vast spaces below the deck, more than should be possible, even taking into account the massive size of the ship. Each day brings a new discovery, a new secret to be unraveled. Your inward odyssey has just begun. So it's non-Euclidean.
Yeah. It's
It's a TARDIS. Awesome.
yes.
When there are 2 progress tokens on this card, discard them and gain 1 story level.
To quote
When you
one
reach
of
a
my
given
favorite lines from Doctor Who. Smaller
Bigger
on the outside, isn't it?
When you reach a
I
given story
just love that one scene of one of the companions saying that and the Doctor just being like, that's not the fucking line. Fuck you.
When you reach a given story level, during the story step, after all of the story events, resolve the corresponding Inward Odyssey adventure. Blah, 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 blah. After you resolve the last adventure from this list, flip the card. Alright. Place. Right, now, let's look to the city symbol. These are scattered around Crete. Cities are potential locations for great or terrible things to happen, and for you to use your negotiation technology abilities at. However, they don't do anything on their own. Other cards and effects may interact with them, place tokens on them, and so on. You don't have any technologies to use here at the moment, so this city is dormant and won't have any effect.
Well, that's the thing, Magi, is that they weren't wrong. They just didn't say the line. It is, in fact, smaller on the outside. And he's like, I mean, yeah,
Yep. Well, there's nothing left to do on this map tile, so simply proceed to tutorial campaign round 5. Wow, we might actually finish this
Yeah.
tutorial at this rate.
Actually, yeah, we're definitely going to be proceeding to the actual campaign.
Incredible.
Making up for lost time.
Updated round sequence. Movement, timeline, exploration, expedition, encounter, advancement, story, doom.
Oh, darn, Vex, it turns out I wasn't recording this whole time, and we have to restart the whole thing an hour in.
Bitch.
Okay, but that would have been funny.
I don't know about funny. Anyway. Inward Odyssey and Argo Knowledge. Inward Odyssey is a special story card. If Doom cards tell the villain side of the story and normal story cards are your main quest of the cycle, then Inward Odyssey of the story is the Argo itself, its crew, the Argonauts and the Titans. Every cycle has its own Inward Odyssey with 20 adventures in each. That's a lot of adventures.
Yeah.
Argo Knowledge. That's what it is. Argo Knowledge
Mm-hmm.
is an abstract representation of the general world knowledge and knowledge about the Argo gained by the Argonauts. You never spend it or lose it. Each time you gain Argo knowledge, you will go on a special adventure from the Edward Odyssey story card at the end of the current step. These adventures are tied to the Argo itself and offer a wide variety of rewards. You note the current amount of Argo knowledge in the Argo sheet in the appropriate space. Argo knowledge is hard to come by, but there is a reliable way to gain it. Whenever you gain progress, you may put it on Inward Odyssey instead of the normal story card. Every 2 progress tokens on Inward Odyssey are immediately converted into 1 Argo knowledge. So whenever you feel you can spend some progress, place it on Inward Odyssey. Just be careful. You win the game by progressing the main story through story cards, not Inward Odyssey.
What are you, Lincoln Alfie?
Oh no, what is this?
Hold on, let me
What the fuck?
fucking incredible. Thank you, Alfie. Let me pull that up on stream for everyone.
I don't get it.
Hmm?
I don't get it.
I mean, I just think it's cute.
Fair, I suppose.
Browse pictures.
5, 6.
There we go. Hi, everyone.
Oh god.
Hello.
Oh no, jeez.
I fucking love it. So, what's the occasion? Why are we horrible monstrosities?
Where'd my eyes go?
Why do we have beans for eyes?
That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, it's Whismer.
Oh.
Beans.
Right.
I'm imagining that in that like fucking Inception horn sound effect. Beans.
So, tutorial campaign round 5. Tread lightly on their dreams. From what the fishers told you, you have already crossed into the domain of Minos. Yet there are no triremes flying the sails of the bold, no outposts to greet you. Time seems to slow down to a crawl, and you begin to doubt yourself. What are you even doing here? On this weird ship full of strangers with no hint who you are and what you're supposed to do? Drift. Anxiety begins to creep in. As always, at the start of a round, you must move the Argo. This time you're offered a choice. You can move either south or east. Choose and mark the next day on the timeline, so... Let's go... Let's just keep heading east. Fuck it.
Okay.
After you move from a map tile with the city symbol, you must mark it with the last visited city token. Do it now. This prohibits you from using negotiation technology abilities on the city. You don't have any of these now, so don't worry. It's worth keeping in mind, though, as you'll only move the token once you visit another city. Reveal the map tile you've chosen. T5 or 6. We chose 5. Look, it shows a new symbol. It's a Minoan faction symbol, meaning that this is the local faction in the region you're traveling through. Note that almost every region is controlled by some faction. The symbol has no immediate effect, so you can ignore it for now. However, this is a good place to mark your starting diplomacy scores with each of the factions. Minoans, Hornsworn, and the Labyrinthians. As you've not met anyone yet, simply mark 0 on each faction's diplomacy track. Notice that the tracks are divided into diplomacy thresholds, like neutral, friendly, or unfriendly. Whenever you see the following instruction, faction, diplomacy plus or minus X, and here it is. For example, Minoan's diplomacy plus 1, it means that you have to change the diplomatic standing with the name faction by either gaining or losing X on the track. Keep this in mind. Since the only other symbol on the tile is adventure, you can go straight to resolving the Omega adventure for the tutorial hub in the expedition step, then we'll proceed to the advancement step to resolve the battle technology research.
I think I'd be a good flight attendant. Just like pantomiming all the actions as there's a voiceover playing.
So, faction symbols. As you approach populated lands, you're going to encounter various factions, each staking their claim on these territories. This is represented by local faction symbols such as the one you can see on the current tile. You're soon going to learn more about factions of Crete from story events and adventures.
Sleepy baby.
Sleepy bitch syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
A faction symbol is always found in the bottom right corner of a map tile. It has no effect of its own, but may, and will, interact with other game elements. For example, whenever you perform a diplomacy test, you gain a bonus or penalty based on your standing with the group you're dealing with. You'll learn more from Diplomacy and Strangers, but don't read it until you resolve the adventure. Okay. So, speaking of adventure, a merchant ship. Crime.
Yes. That's
The
me.
moods and
I'm crime.
Crime?
I get a point. Wait, I mean, no,
The
I
mo-
don't. I'm not reading ahead. Shut up.
The moods on the ship sour even more as you need to enforce food and water rationing. Black ambrosia is not the only thing running low. Maybe the city ship can reach the shores of the island of the Bull, but if you don't find supplies soon, it may as well be manned by a crew of corpses. As you ponder the consequences, a solitary squawk breaks the silence. Lookouts catch a few fleeting silhouettes looming on the horizon. Soon enough, you see them as well. Bright sails and slender bows. Biremes from Corinth. Great drafts signaling holds full of cargo. Food, perhaps? When they notice you, they turn around and flee, denying you the chance to explain yourselves. You're no pirates, but you are in desperate need. You urge Alcibiades to speed up. If A7 is marked, which it's not, so we ignore it. Biremes are no match for the Argo. Soon you catch up to them and they put up no fight. In truth, they surrender, like pups rolling onto their backs. With opulent outfits and statures to match the grandeur of their wealth, aka their fat, these merchants are sailing to Knossos to pay tribute to the almighty Minos. Though you make them a more than fair offer, they pointedly refuse. They want nothing to do with you and would sooner see you starve than share even a barrel of their supplies. Let's choose a party leader.
From
Choose. You made them a lucrative offer and still they refused. You're no thieves, but your crew is starving. And these merchants are wealthy enough, they won't miss a few barrels. When push comes to shove, they'll float to Knossos on their bellies. Confiscate their supplies. Mark A10 and see a merchant ship's supplies on the next page. Or, you're not pirates or thieves. Besides, you're fairly close to shore. And to Knossos. You wouldn't want to make enemies here. Let them go, but ask for the maps of the coast. See a merchant ship maps on the next page.
So, what you picking, Vex?
On the one hand, I don't want to be a dick. On the other hand,
Eat the rich.
fuck capitalists. And also, we're starving. Fuck it, I'm marking A10.
Okay. So,
Let's go to
confiscate their
supplies.
supplies. Mark A10. Oh, you already did. Nice.
Barbaros? You're no better than the Sibaki scum, says one of the fat merchants when you order your crew to liberate them from some of their cargo. Everyone's got to eat, and we're the biggest fish here, snipes one of you. No, my friend. There is always a bigger fish. Gain one Argo Fate. Ooh.
Whoop.
Minoans, Diplomacy -1. Hornsworn, Diplomacy +1. If
Yes.
A8 is marked, which it is, some of your crew have taken to heart your philosophy of the greater good. While you were confiscating the necessary supplies, they snuck on board the Biremes to take the rest. Unfortunately, all they could claim are some dead gods' relics. Gain one monument resource and another Argo Fate. I've added the monument.
Okay. I added the Argo Fate.
And that's what happens whenever you decide, hey, fuck my people.
Oh, were you reading down to the next one?
No, I was saying if A8 is marked, and that's what happened. Because we
Yeah.
because we got rid of some crew.
Yes. It is. There is always a need greater than ourselves. If you do this and sacrifice the crew. Anyway. Please continue.
Oh. Anyway, there's always a party leader. Sometimes the adventure will tell you outright to choose one. However, even if it doesn't, you have to choose a party leader as soon as either you arrive at a story choice or the narrative text itself mentions a party leader. In other words, there's always one Argonaut who will break ties. Once you make a choice, give the player controlling the Argonaut the priority target token as a reminder. As you may have noticed from the previous adventure, the party leader is also more likely to be the subject of negative and positive adventure effects. Oh, and one more thing. If you can't decide on a party leader, choose one at random.
Good to remember.
So,
I keep forgetting that's an option.
how did you like that? Surprised? Angered? If you like, check the road not taken and compare the two.
Sorry,
you're
sorry. I just turned the image on for a split second that Alfie made.
Sick.
As soon as he said surprised, angered.
Jesus. You see, your choices will have unforeseen consequences, sometimes staggeringly so. They may even form a domino pattern. As you can see, the choice matrix is not the only way your decisions will impact the world of Aeon Trespass Odyssey. Many events may influence how your cause is perceived by various factions as well as shape the Argonauts' opinion on their dealing with other peoples. This is demonstrated by the diplomacy tracks in the Argo sheet. We've talked about them a bit earlier, and now you've had the chance to put that knowledge into practice. You've gained and lost some favor with two of the factions.
Yeah.
As you resolve the merchant ship adventure, notice the word crime next to its title. This is an adventure trait. Almost all hub adventures from here on out will have these. This is your way to gain experience for your Nemos cards. Look closely at the Imprisonment Nemos card. It has 3 traits: Curse, Dream, and Crime. Notice that one of these, Crime, matches the trait of a merchant ship adventure. If traits match, you gain 1 node for that Nemos. Now you're 1/3 of the way towards unlocking a new ability and having a breakthrough. Simples. Now, proceed to the advancement step. There's a battle research symbol on the timeline today, so you can finally research those trireme ranged weapons.
Hell yeah.
Remember to add all technologies listed in the Leads To section of the newly researched card to your project stack, which would be Arrow Barrage and Siren Armor.
Okay.
Then put the trireme ranged weapons into your technology deck. Oh my god, we're almost done.
Arrow barrage and
Siren Armor. Oh, yep, there's Arrow Barrage.
siren armor.
Hmm.
But also, hey Magi, because you were asking about it, here's what Arrow Barrage actually does.
Ooh!
Once per turn, we can spend one of the charges on it to just place a break token or 2 opening tokens for free
That's pretty good.
as a free action.
That's pretty good.
3 times per combat.
So, diplomacy and strangers. Whenever you gain or lose diplomacy with a faction, simply mark the change on the appropriate track. Note that as your standing increases or drops beyond a certain threshold, you will gain a constant modifier to any diplomacy test performed on map tiles controlled by this faction. On top of that, building a strong alliance may bring unforeseen boons and greatly influence the story, whereas a negative relationship could have equally dire consequences. Choose your allies carefully. Strangers represent foreign forces infiltrating the Argo, physical and ideological. These may be spies, saboteurs, or just disgruntled crew members, but the result is the same. Internal security has been compromised. Strangers have no immediate effect on their own, but may trigger other events. You note the strangers on the Argo sheet in the appropriate space. We did not gain any strangers, but we would have had we gone for the maps. But fuck capitalists.
Yep.
So, our crew is pretty happy right now, despite the fact that we are closer to just straight dying. Each hub adventure has a trait, a peculiar quality. Whenever you're on an adventure and see an adventure trait matching your Nemos card, it reminds you of something in your past, triggering a memory.
That's a
Excuse me.
cute little lore explanation for how you level up. 'Cause you're
This
just
allows you
regaining
to-
more of who you were.
Mm-hmm. This allows you to gain a node for that Nemos. A trait always grants exactly 1 node to each eligible Argonaut. In other words, each Argonaut can benefit from an adventure trait only once, even if they have 2 Nemos cards, the maximum per Argonaut, each sharing this same trait. If both Nemos cards assigned to the same Argonaut possess a trait matching your current adventure, add a Nemos node only to the one with more nodes. Gaining Nemos nodes is generally a positive effect that allows you to learn more about your character's past and unlock unique abilities. Remember, however, that it is a forced effect. You cannot choose not to gain a Nemos node. And tutorial campaign round 6, and yeah, we're almost done. 2 pages.
Mm-hmm.
The work has just begun. Time to set sail again.
Sail!
Sail! You should be able to move on to tile 27. Where's tile 27?
It's a good question. It's not part of the tutorial.
Wow.
Search 2, 7.
And now let's move. Bam. You should now be able to move on to tile 27. Do it now and mark the last day of the tutorial on the timeline.
We got a
Is
doom.
that one. We're now on day 0.
Hell yeah.
Oh, we did get a doom? Oh, piss, we did. Oh, no. Oh, no. You finally arrived at the shores
40%
of Crete.
to the end of the game.
What?
We're 40% of the way towards dying forever.
Jesus. Thanks, tutorial.
No,
You
there's,
finally
there's,
arrived
there's
at the
like
shores
3
of
cards and they're all double-sided, so.
at the shores of Crete. The lights of Knossos will guide you to the port. First, however, you must resolve the exploration step. You've encountered a Doom symbol, so put another Doom token on your Doom card. Then it's time to explore your immediate surroundings using the exploration deck. The exploration deck is your main way of gaining motor resources. It represents your dealings with the locals as well as some other, more rare encounters. Take a look at the Bridge Tholos technology card. There it is. From now on, whenever you move to a new tile, even if it has already been explored, you will gather resources. Search the Cycle 1 exploration cards for cards 1 through 9.
Already done.
Is that these ones up here?
Yep.
1 through 9, 13, 19, 23, and 28 through 31. You'll find a card's number in the lower corner, and shuffle them to create the exploration deck. Then, draw 2 exploration stacks, and gain the designated resources. So, during the exploration step, you trigger map tile icons and gather resources from the exploration deck. Each cycle has its own deck, and the deck itself will evolve over the course of the campaign. Once you've assembled your exploration deck, shuffle it and draw cards from the top, resolving them one at a time until you draw one that shows the end stack symbol. Do not shuffle any cards back into the exploration deck yet. Start another stack and repeat the process until the second stack ends. Remember to note any resources you gain from these cards on your Argo sheet. Only then can you shuffle the cards back into the deck. However, not all exploration cards are shuffled back. Some may instruct you to remove them until the next timeline battle or even remove them permanently from the deck, so read the cards carefully. If you save your game in between timeline battles, remember to store any cards that were removed from the deck until the next timeline battle separately. So, let's explore.
Yep.
Gain 2 Trireme. This is the end of a stack.
Okay.
Chosen Argonaut gains a danger.
4 triremes.
Let's roll low for this.
Wait, what?
Chosen Argonaut gets a danger.
Nope.
No?
That's only if we're denounced.
Oh, okay.
The current faction, or the local faction, is the Minoans, and we're only unfriendly with them.
Oh! Right.
Because we kind of did some things to their ship.
Fuck them.
Okay,
All right.
next stack.
Next stack.
Trade
Trade
post.
post.
Gain 1 trireme.
And that's the end of the stack. Not very lucky.
I think like half the cards in that deck are end of stacks.
Fair. So, for now, your spoils may not seem particularly exciting, but your exploration deck will get progressively better with time. See the acclamation brackets on days 18, 36, and 54 on the timeline? Yes. On these days, you will remove some cards from the exploration deck and substitute them with their improved variants. Like, for example, this trade post goes from end of stack to draw another. Ooh.
Wow, spoilers.
It's in the book.
Wow, spoilers.
There is no adventure symbol on your current tile and no timeline battle on the timeline, so you can skip the expedition and encounter steps altogether. However, before you continue the story, it's time to finally put your hard-earned resources to use in the advancement step. Gain the Argo
Whoa.
Works technology.
trading solutions.
You already have
Well-
access to 3 production technologies: trireme weapons, trireme armor, and trireme ranged weapons. Each of them represents a specialized workshop set up in the Grand Agora and shows a list of available gear. The resources provided by Alcabalae's shipbreakers should be enough for a shipwrecker shield and a Kratos Copus. Craft them now. So
Okay. So, trireme armor and trireme weapons.
a shipwrecker shield and a Kratos Copus. So that is 2 armament. You know what? You get the cards first, and then I'll tell you what to mark off.
Yeah, I have grabbed the cards. Let me... Okay, what are we marking off?
So for the Kratos Copus, 2 triremes, 3 raw ambrosias,
Okay.
and 1 infused mechanism.
Okay.
And for the shipwrecker shield, 2 armaments, 3 raw ambrosia, and 1 muscle cluster.
Okay.
Okey-doke. Crafting is the other main activity performed during the advancement step. Unlike research, however, it can be done every day, provided you have the required resources. Each production facility shows a list of gear cards that be crafted using that particular technology. Each gear card lists a crafting cost and resources. Some rare cards may have additional costs, so a priest resource or a specific primordial part, for example, or requirements, such as having a certain Argo knowledge level. Crafting an Aeon Trespass Odyssey is really simple. Whenever you want to craft something, choose the gear you want to craft, pay its crafting cost, lowering the total value of used resources on your Argo sheet, and gain the corresponding gear card, added to the Argo Armory deck. You cannot craft a gear card if you do not have the required resources, or if there are no more copies of a given card available in the game box. There is no limit to the number of gear cards you can craft at once. Okay. So, the gear in the game, there is a limited quantity of it.
Yep.
Okay.
Typically 2 copies of each piece of gear.
Okay.
Unless
That's
it's unique,
interesting.
in which case you can only have one, so there's only 1 copy. I think there's a couple you're able to have 3 pieces of, but I need to double check.
Hmm. So,
I think there's
Before
like a
you're-
support item that you can have 3 pieces of, but I'm not sure.
before you resolve the story step, remove all the map tiles with T in their numbering. We don't need them. This is only 1 tile on the table.
Delete.
Nosos. And this marks the end of the Learn to Play.
Whoa!
Docking and Nosos finally gives you a chance to resupply and repair the Argo, so reset your stats before you actually begin the campaign. Set your crew to 5 and hull to 4, and your Argo Fate and Strangers to 0. Be wary, regaining these statistics will not be as easy in the future. Also gain 1 Sisyphus tier as a reward for finishing the tutorial. Wow.
Those are useful.
This mysterious divine resource will allow you to replay a lost Oh!
Mhm.
Oh! Oh! Okay.
Mhm.
So if you lose, you're not fucked.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But also, even if you lose,
You're still not fucked anyway.
yeah, because you still get resources based on how injured the monster is.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, there are still lessons to learn, but you know enough to freely explore Crete. Look for progress symbols to further your quest. Beware of the doom symbols, as gaining too much can spell, well, your doom. Remember to resolve all symbols marked to the timeline, structural and battle research, as well as timeline battles. Go on adventures to gain unique rewards, develop your characters, and gather resources to create new weapons and gear in the Grand Agora.
Cracks knuckles.
Ready? Read the special Cycle 1 rules in the Cycle 1 Truth of the Labyrinth storybook. Then proceed to Paragraph 1 in its main story section. Your Odyssey begins in earnest.
Here we fucking go! Delete the Learn to Play rulebook.
Truth of the
I
Labyrinth.
forgot I put this right under here, so I'm like, wait, how did it just transform into it?
Congratulations, we know how to play. It only took us
27 easy steps. Just like that, you're ready to.
it was a bit more than 27. 3.5, 4 hours.
Okay, I am just gonna give a brief overview of this. The how to use this book is just you never read it front to back. It's you are told what to read. Don't read stuff outside of that. Starting a new campaign, we can skip because it's basically here's all the shit you need to do for setting up a new campaign.
Which we just did.
Special rules. These are explained on the next few pages. Campaign loss. You have a couple different ways you lose. There's a special event you mark every time you do lose a campaign that gives you some bonuses for future campaigns for reasons. Don't worry about it.
Reasons.
Labyrinth tiles. Labyrinth are a type of terrain that shows up a lot in Cycle 1. They are special because they have red lines along the side of them. And they count as obstructions and they block line of sight and all that, but only through the red lines. So you can pass through a labyrinth tile, you just can't cross over the lines on it. So, they turn the map into a fucking maze. Makes sense. Having played with them a couple times now, I can say they did a very good job of making the map feel like a fucking labyrinth when labyrinth tiles are in play. Sitting there being like, what the fuck? Where do I go? The monster's 2 spaces away and it's going to take me 20 movement to reach it.
That sucks.
Yeah. The keyword Labyrinth X has you place labyrinth tiles. There's a little track that will be on the primordial sheet if it has it. Unless stated otherwise, labyrinth tiles are always placed in front of and adjacent to the primordial. They cannot be placed under the primordial. Oh.
Did you fuck up one point?
Maybe a bit.
Silly
Clips
bitch.
that. We're talking about the labyrinth terrain. Yeah. Fixed. And how I misplayed it a bit last night, but
Whoops.
oh well. Place those as part of an attack. Yep. There are things that just build a maze around you.
Nice.
If the tile is placed as part of an attack, it must be placed underneath the target if possible. If you can place the labyrinth tile in such a way that it would end up underneath more than one titan, place it so it goes under the most titans. When instructed to place more than one at the same time, place each tile in a way that would not invalidate the placement of other tiles. And if a labyrinth tile would overlap with another terrain tile without the indestructible trait, remove the other terrain tile before placing the labyrinth tile. Okay.
Evidently, CT put a labyrinth tile under the primordial, which you're not supposed to.
Not for our game. Different campaign. Last night.
Whoa! That's a lot of stuff.
In some cases, these contradict each other. Labyrinth tiles cannot overlap with each other or other indestructible terrains, and so for context, outside of the very first tutorial, Hakes has not escaped a battle unscathed. Hakes has died in every battle.
Jesus.
All 2 of them. Yep. One of which was a special titan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, fear and dread are conditions that just represent fear and dread. They affect your precision, and if you have them at the end, you get I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, we are playing the game about Apollo and his pantheon, and Apollo has it out for Paxed.
Mm.
The two have a grudge. Uh, do-do-do. But yes, the fear and dread conditions can have impacts on your Argonaut. Love you, Paxed.
Motherfucker in a chariot looking ass.
Mm-hmm. Despair is another condition. You gain tokens for it. It gets you will get increasingly negative effects the more you have. 1 token gets you
Mhm.
-1 precision. 2 tokens gets you -3. 3 tokens prevents you from attacking at all, and 4 tokens kills you.
Mm.
So, but you discard 1 every time you wound.
Mm.
Um, you gain them
Despair
outside
limit.
of battle. Yep. There are some stuff that will increase your despair limit. All that does is it increases the threshold for death. The other stuff still happens. Trample is a trait from one of the monsters. It's super not relevant right now. Maze Touched is an affliction you can develop. It has no mechanical effect unless stated otherwise.
Well, I'll say that much. I'll say this much. Trample may not be very important right now, but I'm reading the last part of that where instead of suffering crash, you flip a coin. You flip a coin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it fucks you up. Strangers are basically how much of your
Yeah, we
crew
we went over
has.
strangers in the tutorial.
Yeah. And then map symbols. If you see one you don't know, don't worry about it. So there is an exception here. Well, first of all, river spaces we can't traverse right now. We have to
Mhm.
get technology to traverse rivers.
Mhm.
And then there's the city spaces. Whenever we leave one, we place the last city visited tile, and there's other stuff that can be placed on it. However, uh, oh, with no tokens other than the last visited city. Okay. So last visited city does not count as an occupied thing. All right, we do need to change a very small thing in our campaign, Paxed. Very minor. It's just 1 token needs to be moved down 1 space on the map.
Having said
It
that, Knossos is apparently always occupied.
Yes. And here we go. And would you like me to read now, Vex?
No. This is a lot scrunchier than the tutorial book. I'll say that much. Jesus. All right.
I mean, yeah, I had to scan this all in myself by
No,
ripping
not
up the
not
book.
crunchier as in quality wise, as in look at the fucking font.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between a fucking high grade construction manual and this fucking perfect grade construction manual. It's just so much more shit in the same space.
Ah,
Right.
it begins.
So it begins. The Argo cuts through the evening waves as the sun sets on the hunched silhouette of Knossos, the Horned City. With great trepidation, the crew watches the shoreline for any signs of danger. Has the kingdom of Minos fallen, or has a calamity passed by the ancient metropolis, leaving it unscathed? Excuse me. When darkness finally comes, you hear a collective sigh of relief as the city lights up with the calming glow of oil lamps. But only a few.
The fires of Knossos burn high and bright all year round in remembrance,
Says the old priest who tended to you after your rude awakening.
for its king, great Minos of Crete, could not bear the passing of his favorite son, Androgeos. now only embers remain. Still, if the Argo is to sail the high seas again, we need access to the Daedalus Vault, a thing only Minos can provide.
There are many mouths to feed on the Grand Argo, and the hold is all but empty. The engineers say the Aeolipili engines will run cold without ambrosia to sate them, and replacement parts only the great Daedalus Vault may contain. And the Titans are becoming restless, not having set foot on dry land for many days now. After some debate, you decide to send a landing party ashore to meet with the Minoans, a few envoys, and an armed escort. Party leader. Who's the party leader? Fuck it, Raz is-
Me.
Okay, which one are you?
Oh, Otis Zero, I guess. He's always wanted to be captain.
He's always wanted.
I mean,
The
that is
pier
his
is all-
backstory. He always wanted to be captain, and he never gets to be.
pier is
Oh,
all but
Pikes, I have
deserted.
bad news
Mhm.
for you. We're pissing off Space Texas.
Fuck Space Texas. The pier is all but deserted, save for a few fishers tending to their nets and a beggar standing on an overturned crate, addressing them like a priest of old. As you pass the beggar, he catches your gaze and says, "Have you come to witness the squalor of splendor, outsiders? The sins of the bull and the bull slayer? You will soon learn that it is all meaningless. I clung to meaning for far too long and have been punished for it." You quicken your pace. You have no patience for raving madmen. "Only the truth matters, though it is bitter!" he
Title
shouts after
drop.
you. Ah.
Truth of the Labyrinth.
You make your way into the silent, half-lit city. The streets are empty but well-maintained, paved with ornate cobblestones and lined with statues of the gods and the great Minotaur. Here and there you get glimpses of movement. Knossos is far from abandoned. It is fear that subdues the metropolis. On your way to the palace, you may take interest in one of the following. 1. A mixed group of children and teenagers, their faces covered in strange tattoos of fine geometric lines. Or, an old blind woman crawling on all fours, looking for something and mumbling to herself, to the amusement of a few gaping onlookers. So which one?
I am pretty sure Pakeston knew would kill me if we ignore the old blind woman.
Okie dokie. Note passage 47. You have no time for distractions, though, so you hurry past the curious gathering and head straight for the palace. There, the horned guards stand watch. Ah, so there is some semblance of order in the city after all, you think. And after introducing yourselves, you ask for an audience with King Minos. You cannot see the guards' faces hidden underneath the elaborate helms, but as they turn to each other, you imagine them exchanging meaningful glances. One of them enters the palace, but the rest remain silent. As time passes and more guards converge on the gate, you become uneasy. You're outnumbered, and you chose, maybe poorly, not to take Titans with you. The party leader tests wisdom on a 7+, or gains 2 Argo feet to get an automatic success.
Okay, wisdom. I have +02. Hell yeah, let's go.
Oh, you're actually testing it?
I succeed.
Hey, you succeeded. You got an 8.
I spend a fate to reroll. No.
Shut up.
Success. Boring.
One of your company tells a joke. Not a good one, mind you. Someone laughs nervously. Nonetheless, the tension that was building deflates and blades remain sheathed. They do not see your medal, and you theirs.
I-
Minoans, diplomacy +1.
I mean, if we're not Minoans, shouldn't you guys be called Euroans?
I am, yes.
God damn it. Pakes is gonna kill you.
Yeah, well. The gate opens with a creak and a slender woman with jet black hair emerges.
Also,
She holds a torch
oh,
in
you
her
already
hand.
updated our Minoan.
Mm-hmm.
diplomacy. Okay.
She gives you and the guards a fleeting look, as if this was what she was expecting.
Euroans?
Oh my god.
She expected it. She knew the punchline.
I am Phaedra, daughter of Minos. She tells you in a soft, soothing voice. Follow me. There is much to discuss. C68. God, you weren't fucking kidding.
I told you.
It really is just a fucking choose your own adventure book.
hmm This board
Uneasily,
game
you
has
do.
cutscenes.
Fuck yeah, it does. Uneasily, you do as she says. She leads you through the meandering hallways of the palace, maybe mirroring the corridors of the fabled labyrinth itself, to the empty throne room, a large chamber with an open balcony overlooking the city. I saw you enter the bay. That marvelous ship of yours. Its design seems familiar and yet quite alien. She stops by a large spyglass mounted on a brass base and leans on it. I saw Titans serve you as if they were slaves. You must have come from far away and have stories to tell. She sighs. But I have not brought you here for idle chit-chat. She moves back into the chamber. For you see, in everything there is a purpose. I had a need, and here you are. We would we would kindly ask for an audience with your father, the king. Exquisitely, as it is Minos who I would like you to find. The king has not been seen for many months now. Some say he went into exile. Others say that he died at the labyrinth, but I know it is not so. The horned guard were a bleak shadow of their former selves, as you might have already noticed, and I cannot spare a single one on the search let the city fall.
Fall to what?
You ask quietly. A dark fog has engulfed the world. There are crazed men and monstrous things out there. Minos took 7 boys and 7 girls every 9 years to appease the Minotaur, and they called him a ruthless tyrant. Now the darkness beckons endlessly and does not care who it takes, just that it takes them by the dozens. She turns to you with a determined look on her stricken face. Find him, and you will be rewarded beyond imagining. The kingdom of Minos may be diminished, but its treasures are yours for the taking. We came here for supplies and access to the Daedalus Vault. You say slowly, contemplating her offer. I will send some right away. A taste of our gratitude. Even in absence, Minos will welcome you like equals. Now, what of my plea? After this unconditional show of hospitality, you cannot refuse. You need the supplies and spare parts for the ship, and without access to the Daedalus Vault, the Argo will be restrained to the shallows around Crete. I'm glad to hear there are still brave, good men in the world, she says, smiling ever so slightly. Please, take my sister, Akacalis, with you. She calls for her. Soon a guard returns with a younger woman with curly blonde hair and a disarming smile. She knows the land. She can be your guide. Choose. You are unfamiliar with the lay of the land and the surrounding waters. It may be a good idea to have a local, or of the ruling family no less, as a member of your crew. Or, the Argo is a powerful and deadly vessel, hiding an even deadlier secret. Triskelion Junction. It would be unwise to let an outsider on board, much less a representative of an imperialistic kingdom like Crete.
Do you have a preference?
I sure don't.
I have a preference.
Well, actually, I do have a preference. What's yours?
Well, what's yours? Because mine is the one I haven't done before.
Well, I was going to choose one.
One?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna let fucking royalty on board? An imperialistic member of the royal family? Okay.
I mean, you
Okay.
raise a great point. Mm, I'm more thinking in terms of the forthcoming diplomacy.
Hmm. Decisions.
Mm,
Oh my
yeah, I'm
god.
sticking with one.
Okay. One it'll be. Uh,
Diplomacy
search.
+1, gain the Minoan Guide ally card.
Search.
We are now +1 with the Minoans.
Clues. Search.
Wow.
Ally.
Wow.
Nope. Minoan Guide.
It sure is loading on my end. Give me a second. There it is. Write Akakallis in the Boons, Afflictions, and Notes section of the Argo sheet. Various effects may instruct you to make tally marks next to her name. If there are 10 or more, see buh. You may dismiss the princess at the end of any voyage phase. If you do, see 11. Hmm. Have you noted her somewhere?
Nope. Two L's.
More like 2 shut up.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. Back to the story.
Oh, and one diplomacy.
I did that.
Okay, good.
Very well. I will keep your crew fed and your
In the
ship
positive
running.
with everyone, at least.
Yay. You, in turn, will inform me of your progress. If you return our dear father to us, you'll have first pick from the Daedalus vault. You leave the palace at the break of dawn, deep in thought, when one of the nobles drawn here by the news of your arrival comes to you and says, "You look familiar. You have my grandpa's eyes and my grandpa's nose. You are of Crete, surely." The least likely Argonaut gains the Minoan Heritage Mnemos card. So it's either Raz or Otis.
It being Raz would be kind of funny.
I kind of fucked up. Anyway, let's roll low.
Mm-hmm.
Raz rolls an 8.
6.
Otis 0
Okay.
it is.
I don't know. That one feels the most likely, not the least likely. It did say the least likely one.
And now we go to 47.
Hold on. Minoan Heritage? There it is. Everywhere you look, familiarity. Your roots are buried under the Shattered Island, or the Shattered Island is burying into you.
Oof.
You can tap this during a movement to gain +1 movement for this movement.
That's pretty good movement.
Yeah. Minoan Heritage.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Also, don't forget your wisdom and courage.
Oh, yes. Thank you. 2 courage. Hell yeah.
Wow. Otis is puffing out his chest like, I got this. Anyway. The image of the blind woman is etched in your memory, filling you with a sense of both hope and dread. Feeling the maddening pull of the Moirai, you decide to remain in the Horned City, and against your better judgment, look for the wretch. As the sun rises and people flock to the streets, Knossos begins to resemble the fabled metropolis it was supposed to be. But there's still something amiss. Gilded statues of the gods and the Minotaur watch silently as you navigate the complicated web of streets and alleyways. If you have the Minoan guide, which we do, she grows restless and suggests you abandon the fruitless search. My sister asked me to aid you in all things, and so I will, but this time could be better spent. There's a man here who claims he is one of Daedalus's lost heirlooms. The Horned God could not persuade him to hand it over. Maybe you will? If you listen to the guide's advice, make an Akakallis tally mark and see 20. If you don't, Minoan Diplomacy -1, see 41.
Oh. So.
Honestly, I'm already regretting bringing her along, so I kind of don't want to listen to her.
Okay. Good. Good. Because, New agrees with you. But Pakes did not, and Pakes was given party leader. And so Pakes was like, fuck all of you. We're siding with Space Texas.
Oh, God.
So 41. And Diplomacy -1. Space Texas!
You feel as if something is nudging you along, guiding you through the steep streets. You cannot tell its intent, only its urgency. You make your way to the temple quarters atop the city. Did we do diplomacy?
I just did.
Okay. You make your way to the temple quarters atop the city hill, expecting splendor and grandiose architecture, only to find it nearly abandoned and in a state of disrepair. Sprouting from the cracked stylobate, overgrowth clings to marble columns. The walls, once pristine, have been covered in obscene writing, not befitting the seat of the gods. The old woman sits on a pedestal of the statue of Helios, rocking back and forth, doing
Mm.
something with her hands as if she is. Come closer, she says loudly, not raising her head. I am blind, not deaf. And you're no Odysseus. You step forth, but still keep your distance. Caution is good, she says. I know it well. You came from the metal ship and sought me out, but for what purpose? It is for us to witness, I suppose. Gain the old spinner ally. Least likely Argonaut gains the Death Follows Nemos card.
Hi, Raz.
Hi, Raz.
Uh,
Most people brush with death, but when he brushed with you, Tenados paused. You've been trying to outrun him ever since. When you're about to what?
not bad.
I don't, huh? When you're about to what? What does X mean?
That means discard the card. Discarding does not mean you lose it. It just means you flip it face down and you don't have it for the rest of the fight.
Ah, so it's once.
Yeah, once per fight.
Okay. Okay.
And you also get. You already added. Nice.
And don't forget our follower.
Yes, who's right here. I have not seen this card before, so.
Old Spinner. You may dismiss the old spinner during the story step. If you do, discard this card.
Ah.
Okay, so that's. You can just get rid of it whenever for no fuss.
When she thinks nobody is looking, she fiddles with her fingers as if she was rolling a ball of yarn.
Hmm.
Oh.
Oh.
Interesting.
As you're about to leave, a ragtag group of priests stops you. Some are famished, others sickly, and others still glare at you with a mad gleam in their eyes. She belongs here, says one of them. You will not take her. Choose. When they were alive, the gods thought only about themselves. Now that they're dead, their chains bind you no longer. You draw the ire of the dead gods. A random party member gains a faded Nemos card. There are things worse than the dead gods out there. You notice some of these priests bearing a dark look. They know it too. A cackle like thunder sounds in the distance. You've drawn the ire of something different. Unknown.
So. I've yet to gain a faded meme card. I kind of want to.
It's up to yourself. It's either that or move cackle closer, and I'm not sure. I don't know what cackle is, and I don't want it.
I have yet to see Cackle. I know enough from context from the Kickstarter and like the little stuff they were going to reveal to know it's this game's equivalent of a Nemesis.
So that's bad.
Yeah.
Noted. Let's get a faded card.
Faded memes, and it says you gain a random one.
It says a random party member gains one.
So I guess it's a random faded
I
Nemo.
guess it's random.
Okay, in that case, tell me when to stop.
Stop. Honor blind. You cannot end voluntary movement in a. Oh. Oh, wait. These are fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
This is the equivalent of disorders.
Wait, what's the difference between the black and the blue sides?
We get the black side. It has a track just like the regular ones.
Oh, and okay, so because it only has one track, once you thingy that, you get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. At which point it turns into this.
Oh! And that's good.
Mm-hmm. That's very good.
Okay, right.
That is lose one fate every time you attack the rear space.
Okay. Well, let's roll low. Let's see who fucking gets it.
Okay.
Alright, rolling for Heraclides. That's a 1. Rolling for Raz.
7.
That's a 7.
Otis. Last character. 8. Penelope.
Alright. Heraclides is honor blind.
He loses
That's
one
mine.
wisdom.
Can you go into negatives?
Believe so. I mean, you have -1 wisdom.
Well, we can check. Important game rules. 7.
Hold on. Let me. Actually, I have my own.
Yeah, you do. Play flow, voice phase. Actually, what am I doing? There's probably a.
That's what I'm looking at. Page 11. Argonaut skills. They start with a +0, meaning you neither add nor subtract anything to or from your roll, but you may go up or down as a result of other effects. So yeah.
So that doesn't say it out loud, but yeah, you
Yeah,
can
it
go negative.
does. It basically is.
It basically
It
does.
would not
but
specify you don't subtract anything if it were not possible
yeah.
to subtract something.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. But at the same time, I would very much like it if it just straight up said, "But you can't go into the fucking negatives."
Okay.
Anyway,
Regardless
of your choice, one of the priests, a young adherent of Helios, offers to tend to the old blind woman. Gain a priest of Helios.
Okay.
Is that an ally card?
It's a resource. Divine.
Ah.
I don't actually have text here. I don't think it matters
you
that
don't.
it's. Well, either way.
You just put it in notes, yeah. Then read side 1A of the Absent Rules story card. I like how they're different sides of the book.
Yeah, that would be much nicer if not for Inward Odyssey.
Yeah. I was really expecting this to be like a double page spread.
Yeah, no, I would
would be
have
one
really liked
big
if
book.
Inward Odyssey, being the constant one for the cycle, had like because it goes to 20. Instead of having it be double-sided, have half of it be the white book and half of it be the black book, and you just put it in the middle. That would have been.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that would have been much nicer, but no. But
anyway,
no.
As the Argo leaves the Knossos port, you look to the Horned City one last time. Not many have come to see you off, but a glint from the palace confirms your suspicions. Spying eyes are set on you. The Cretans delivered fuel and supplies, as promised. Enough to subsist, but only just. Is it all they could spare, or a short leash? Either way, you should stick to the coast. Without much to go on, you fall back on the basics. Scout the island, question the locals. Collect progress. If you skipped the tutorial, we did not.
To progress?
To progress through the story, you must gather progress. Da-da-da. If the Minoan guide is with you, immediately place 1 progress on this card. All right.
Hell yeah.
And now
Tracks
we go back
Knuckles.
to the voyage phase.
And now we
But-
get to start the game.
Now we get to actually start the game next week.
Oh.
But just give me 2. Whoa.
Oh. Hey, what are you searching for? Stop that.
Hold on.
You cheating?
No, I'm not cheating
Why are you searching?
because I'm doing this.
Hmm. Suspicious.
That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just
Suspicious.
putting on the board where we can go.
There we go.
And the arrow's here.
Suspicious.
And yep, we tick that off. And then next we immediately fight and also restart something.
Overwrite. But I guess we're saving that and not doing it.
It is 10 o'clock. Yes, it is the end of my stream.
Boo. Boo.
Hey, at least we actually got to do shit for 2 hours this time.
That's fair. That is fair. But yeah, also we got the old spinner, which I have not seen before. And
She's chilling.
yeah. And I agree with Paste. This might be one of the fates.
Oh, it's like fucking 100%. Like the reason Paix brought out the Moirai is because we were pulled to find the old woman by the Moirai, or what we felt was the Moirai.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Wouldn't be fucking surprised if she was the spinner of the fates. It's not in passage 41, it's in a different one. It
Yeah.
was the passage where we ignored what's her face.
Hmm. Which was 47, I believe. Yep. Feeling the maddening pull of the Moirai, you decide to remain in the Horned City, and against your better judgment, look for the wretch.
That's
the
one.
Hakes, I feel like New's gonna be even more upset at you ignoring her now. Oh, also,
Hmm.
very important.
Oh.
No!
Bodied.
Tabletop Simulator, why? And those ones can all just
Did
stay.
they all go on the 1 stack?
Yeah.
Oof. More trauma cards, huh?
Yep. Cycle-specific ones.
Nice. I'm terrified. Anywho, shuffling and all that stuff. Notwithstanding, I'm gonna call it there because
Okay.
I retired the whole fucking time, and I still need to match my face against PvP. I'm rank 20 now.
Ah.
If I get to rank 22, I'm 20 and a half. So if I get to rank 22 before I go to sleep, I'll definitely be able to finish tomorrow, and then I'll be set. Anyway, fuck Space Texas.
Wow. Wow.
I also need to finish this leg.
Well, I know Pakes is streaming later. Hey, Pakes, what time do you start streaming? Or how many hours from now?
Ugh.
Taps chin in thought.
4 hours.
Oh,
by the
I
way,
might keep streaming so I can raid Pakes.
that's fair.
Do some
But-
Pokemon.
By the way, if chat keeps seeing my head turn in very unnatural shapes, that's because my head is turning in unnatural shapes. Don't worry about it.
God damn it.
No, but seriously, that's just me stretching.
Mm-hmm. Don't believe his lies.
Ugh, your mother sucks
Okay.
cocks in hell.
God, I wish. Anyway,
Anyway,
but that was fun.
yeah.
I am going to take a short break, get myself some more water, and get things set up to switch things over to some Pokemon Shining Pearl. And because I still have a Pokedex to complete.
You sure do.
Yes. So I might do some of that. Just to kill time until Pake streams. Because.
Mhm. Until then, I
Mhm.
might as well just read CT. Um,
Yay.
yeah. Now you get to hold that shit.
In that case, either way, this is still the end of the stream. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone in Vex's stream.
Thank you everyone for showing up. So I'm gonna just sign off here. So,
Yeah.
thank you everyone for showing up. I really appreciate it a whole lot, genuinely. Thank you a lot. Especially considering this is not what I would normally consider myself to be doing ever on a stream anyway. Um, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I hope uh I hope I hope my eyes eventually stop being lazy.
You know you can link them so it only tracks one of your eyes actually.
Really?
Yep, and then it'll just mirror it.
Eh. Well, then both my eyes would be lazy if I choose the wrong one. Either way, not the point. The point is, thank you everyone for showing up. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. I hope you stay safe, warm, comfortable, and I hope you guys have fun
Yay.
watching CT fuck around and find out in Pokemon.
Yay.
So, bye bye, everyone.
Yay.
I waved as if you could see my fucking hands.
Okay, it's not just me, thank God.
Anyway, bye bye, everyone.
Bye everyone, and hi everyone.
Wow. I can't believe I did it. Wow.
I'm getting
Someone
raided.
raided.
What?
Holy shit.
Oh shit! Shout out to Vex. Thank you for the raid. Check him out. Hey Vex, what were you playing?
I. That's a good question. I don't know what I was playing.
Oh well, it says you were playing a tabletop simulator. What were you playing on tabletop?
I was playing with. I was playing a cool game with a cool friend. Is what I was playing.
Wow, that sounds lame as hell.
No, actually, it was pretty baller.
Thank you everyone for showing up, and thank you for everyone who does or doesn't stick around. Appreciate it either way.
Also, fuck you for telling me about the fucking blink link thing, because that just fixed everything, and now I feel way better about everything.
You're
Bitch.
welcome.
I dare you know things.
Yes. But yes, I will take a short break here to get stuff swapped over to my Pokemon setup,
And I'm just
and
gonna dip.
yeah. Thank you for stopping by. Give me just a minute and we'll be right back.